You good? All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. You gotta cut the music on. No, I'm just all right, Tin Roof, Wednesday, May the 18th. We are back out here. Beautiful night in the city. I see my Chico. Got some Chick-fil-A. Got some Chick-fil-A up in here. Sloppy, the what? Chick-fil-A nachos? Oh, sloppy nachos here. Who got Chick-fil-A then? Do you know where I was just at, by the way, just before this? Cantina. Little middayer. Yeah. No surveys. I'm about to hit a month Friday. So, what's his name? What's J-Mo's roomie's name? J-Mo's roommate, right? The guy with the beard. Yeah, Webb was working. He just came up and just poured me a shot, and I was like, it's tequila too. I was like, nah. I was like, nah, bro. You got to give this to somebody else. No. I can tell you, if I was about to break it, it would not be that way. It would not. I can think of some other drinks I would go with first. So I'm enjoying myself, man. I haven't woke up feeling like shit in quite a while. So yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I feel sharp, my guy. I feel good. Yeah, very clear of mind. On that note, again, we are out here at Tin Roof, $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball. On that note, great food as well. Great bartenders, best bartenders in the city also. Be sure you tip them. But we're having a great night here at Tin Roof on a Wednesday. Those tuned in digitally, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. You already know the drill. I see our guy, Travie, DGD, Brendan, John Edward Kruger. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. All those that are out here in person, appreciate y'all as well. Again, we're always having a good time at Tim as we sit the final week of the regular season for South Carolina baseball, which I know many of us are saying, thank goodness, it's finally coming to an end. It's finally over, which is really a terrible spot to be at and somewhere that I thought as a Gamecock baseball fan I would never be, but yet here we are. Again, tomorrow Gamecocks are on the road in Gainesville taking on the Florida Gators in a best of 3 at their place. Tomorrow night at 7, Friday at 7, Saturday at 2. I think South Carolina's postseason hopes are pretty shot, but we'll see what happens. Again, I want to thank Sound Guy Phil again for being out here. Sound Guy Phil, you're the man. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, feels good to be out here, man. We're coming up on a year of these shows. We're coming up on a full year. I think we started, I want to say it was like right after July 4th, maybe. I think it was right after July 4th. So we're slowly but surely creeping up on a full year. And I tell you what, man, as exciting as it was last preseason for football, I really think this one's going to top it, man, with what Shane Beamer's doing, the momentum, positivity. I mean, you see we got the Beamer Rattler stuff behind us. We've now got our own football helmet up here. So we're rocking, man. We're rocking. I'm very excited. Again, excited to be out here. Appreciate you all again coming out. And we are taking your questions, comments, whatever. If you did not know, we do this every single day, actually, noon to 2, Monday through Friday on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, something called the Daily Crow, where I take questions, comments, everything in between, calls as well. We don't do the calls here at Tin Roof because we just really don't have the capabilities. But on that daily live show, we do that. So noon to 2 every single day. What else? Yeah, podcast also dropped this morning. Sean Elliott, former Gamecocks offensive line coach, current head coach of Georgia State, who South Carolina takes on in week 1, was on the show today. Awesome conversation. You're a big Gamecock football fan, and obviously if you tune into this show, you are. Highly suggest you check that out. We talked about everything from his days at Appalachian State to the Steve Spurrier era and him being the offensive line coach, obviously, for all that, to being the interim coach in 15, to serving on the staff in 16, to taking the job at Georgia State. And obviously we talked week 1, and it was really cool and intriguing to get his perspective and hear everything from Coach Sean Elliott. And, very excited to welcome him back to Willie B. And I think it's going to be a great time and really, really awesome to see him having success in Atlanta. Beyond that, not a lot of craziness going on right now. It's going to be sort of interesting, by the way, the next couple of weeks, or about the next month or so, month plus, I'd say, with the podcast, the live show, and the Tin Roof shows also, because we are coming up on a time where there's just not a lot going on. I mean, just call it for what it is. Unfortunately, I will say this time next week, though, is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to make sure we get with Talon, we get with Corey. We might have to get with Sound Guy Phil, because the SEC baseball tournament will be going on. So we're going to have to get these TVs in here switched onto that, because there will be baseball on all day and night. And on that note, you think to yourself, okay, South Carolina's never done good in the SEC tournament. They're going to be playing on Tuesday. We normally go one and done. So what does it matter? Well, on that note, I've talked about it before, and I'll bring it up here yet again. I probably won't go into too much detail. You guys will see it on social media. But for those who maybe missed it, we are expanding. We're expanding the business, and it's going to be something separate from the Spurs Up Show. And we're going to continue with TSUS. Obviously, I'm not going anywhere. We're going to keep talking Gamecocks. But as soon as tomorrow, you're going to start seeing new content on a new platform, on a new channel, if you will, a new handle, our brand new SEC-wide entity. I think I'm going to launch it in some capacity tomorrow. Not a full launch, but there will be content beginning to be distributed out to a new channel tomorrow. I have the graphic. My guy sent me over our main logo. It is fire. I mean, it is absolute fire. Absolute fire. And again, it's going to be light to begin with. I'm thinking tomorrow, in case you missed it, is 100 days until SEC football. So the countdown is on. So at minimum, we're going to have like an SEC countdown. I might be putting out a video of some sort to announce this new entity or this new channel, if you will. But it's going to be something separate from the Spurs Up Show. And yours truly going to be talking the entire SEC. So this time next week, we might be covering all the games. I mean, truly, really. That's the plan. So SEC tournament in Hoover next week. Like I said, we got the logo. It's fire. I'll show you after this. It's fire. It is fire. I think I may have texted you like the first concept, but we got the final one today. So literally tonight after this, I'm probably going to be sitting at the bar in Tin Roof working on getting everything on social media in the back end kind of put together, getting the logos uploaded, getting the bio put together or whatever. Travis says, when you say new channel, we still see it on the current platform. So again, TSUS is going to be its own thing. I'm just saying like the new channel, like it's going to have its own Twitter, own Facebook, own Instagram, own YouTube, stuff like that. So it's not going to be like distributed through the Spurs Up Show. And for those that, if you don't know the name, Travis, I don't know if I've even announced the name, but SEC Unfiltered. Pretty simple. Just SEC Unfiltered. Believe it or not, that name was available. That's what shocked me. That name was available to SEC Unfiltered. And you know how like schools say we're DBU, we're wide receiver U. Tin Roof could say like we're Rumple U. I think Tin. That would be by the way, that would be fun content. Like how schools are like, we're DBU, wide receiver U. Each bar, like what is each bar? Like which bar is like blackout U? What is each bar known for? You know? Jaeger Bomb U? You think so? I don't know. I think of Rumple when I think of this place. I really do. Flabongo U. What? Do we still have the Flabongos or no? What happened? Somebody stole them though, right? One, okay. But we just got rid of those. Yeah. Who knows? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that would be fun content though. Like Jaeger Bomb U. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, but the entity is SEC Unfiltered, so it's SECU, like kind of a play off of that. That's the abbreviation for it. So, you know, again, I thought about coming up with some really creative off-the-wall name, but I really do believe in less is more, and there's beauty in the simplicity, and it was just like SEC Unfiltered, and the fact it was available on social media, the handles were available, the LLC was available, the trademark was available. You're just like, it feels like it like smacks you in the face. You know what I mean? And at that point, so that's what we're going to rock with. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be just like TSUS was in the beginning, where the joy is in the journey, and you evolve as you go. And I'm probably going to mess up a lot and screw up a lot, and the content will evolve as we go. So probably first podcast will drop next week, and it's going to be a lot more raw. And again, hence the name Unfiltered. It's going to be a lot more raw and sort of. I don't know really what the word I want to say is, but for example, I don't cuss on the podcast now. It's probably going to be a little more like the Barstoolish, not to that level, but closer to that level. So just really fun, kicking it, lighthearted, what you would expect like SEC fans to be talking if they were sitting in the bar in Tin Roof talking SEC football. It's going to be something like that. So anyways, informal, DGD, that's a good word, informal. Very good. You're a smart guy. Smart for a Georgia fan. Either way, though, again, taking your questions, everything else, we are talking Gamecocks, of course, here tonight. South Carolina dropping their midweek game last night to Charlotte. Final home game of the season, 8-3. Yours truly was there in person. I wish I could say I was shocked. I wish I could say I was surprised, but more of the same for Carolina baseball. And we move into the weekend against the Florida Gators. Melvin Ingram, in case you missed it, he is now with the Miami Dolphins, which is cool to see. But yeah, baseball last night, we all know it's fire Mark Kingston for sure. Yeah, time for Gamecock baseball to move a different direction. That's a given. Here's something that pertains to everybody. A news entity on Twitter tweeting out saying gas prices will surpass $6 nationwide by August. What JP Morgan says. I'm about to bike around Cola. For real. I'm about to bike to the gym. I might just run to the gym. Well, what's the point? I'm not driving anymore. Huh. $6 for a gallon of gas. You imagine that? That's what they're projecting by August. Bro, it's like $4.30 right now. Bro, I got a 16-gallon tank. I'm like, bro, this is dog, dude. This is garbage. What is this? Dog. Yeah. You think I'm joking? Planet Fitness ain't that far. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit of a hike. Yeah. Why not? I got a bike. I've got a bike. I need to get me like a chain to where it won't get stolen, but because, dude, bikes are going to become a hot commodity. You leave your bike outside, like Debo up in here, it's gone. Don't be biking the tin roof, bro. That thing's gone. You better put it behind the bar. You better put it behind the bar. Don't sit it outside. By the way, let's give a shout out to our guy, J-Mo. I was able to talk to Webby about J-Mo and his life. What an interesting time he's having right now. Yeah. Once a quarter. Prayers for J-Mo once a quarter. As J-Mo navigates through, which I'm shocked he's still in. So I saw J-Mo's Snapchat like 3 days ago at like 6 a.m. Like he was really enjoying himself. So, but yeah. The academy stuff. So prayers for J-Mo. Once a quarter. Prayers for J-Mo, for sure. Let's see. Gamecocks baseball, let's see. Dropping their primer for the weekend. What's the rotation going to be? Let's see. Okay, going to be the same, actually. Brett Thomas tomorrow night, Noah Hall Friday, Will Sanders on Saturday. I really thought they would switch it up. That is really shocking. And in case you're wondering why I'm saying that, SEC tournament next week, like I said earlier. So, let's see. Yeah, again, come on out. $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball as well. We might have some special guests walking here a little bit later. I had a couple people text me over the weekend. We're also, by the way, I'll go ahead and throw this out there. See, what people don't realize, if you tune into content like this, there's stuff that I don't tweet out or post that you find out earlier than everybody else. Like this weekend, Saturday. So we've had Brad Lawing up here. Legendary coach. I think everybody knows who Brad Lawing is. I am actually heading, speaking of gas, which hate that I got to make the drive, but I'm heading to Coach Lawing's house Saturday out on Lake Murray to do an interview in his man cave. And you can only imagine what his man cave looks like. And to give you an idea of Coach Lawing's house, it is on a peninsula out on Lake Murray. So I can't even imagine what this house looks like. If he don't invite me on the boat, I'm going to be upset. That's all I'm going to say. So post-interview. Yeah, I can guarantee you he's not. Coach Lawing doesn't even know how to work Zoom. That's why we do all of the interviews in person. So I don't think he's tuned into social media right now or YouTube, God forbid, to this conversation. But, yeah, so I'm going out there. We're going to sit in there. I can't imagine, like I said, he asked me, what are we going to talk about? And in my mind, I'm like, Coach, I'm probably going to walk into your house and have like 1,000 questions just based off like what's on the wall. Like, we could spend an hour just talking about Jadeveon Clowney, just himself, just everything about him. So looking forward to that. Again, the conversation with Sean Elliott dropped this morning. Earlier this week, we had Reid McCullum on the show, played quarterback at Carolina. You might recall him. He didn't play a whole lot, but either way, was still a quarterback there when Steve Spurrier and Steven Garcia. I will tell you this. I'll go ahead and spoil this. He did tell me one of the funniest Garcia stories I've ever heard. And, I mean, every Garcia story is classic, but told me a hilarious Garcia story about they went to a house party on a Saturday night, shocker, and the cops came and busted. It was actually at the retreat, he said, which I didn't know the retreat's been there that long, but it has. Said it was at the retreat, though, and the cops came, busted it, whatever. They sneak out the side door. Apparently, they got separated. You know, Garcia, like we've all done before, had to hop a couple fences, get away from the cops. No big deal. You know, we've all been there. Said they had filmed the next day. They had a scrimmage that day, that night that happened. The next day, they showed up at the facility, and Garcia's got a boot on, sprained his ankle. And Spurrier asked him, you know, what happened? Like, what's wrong with your ankle? He's like, oh, coach, I did it in the scrimmage yesterday. He's like, and everybody knew what happened, all the players. He was like, no, you didn't. He's like, I didn't see that happen. So they sat down in the film room, the entire offense, defense, entire team. They sat down and went through every single play in slow motion, Spurrier trying to find where he rolled his ankle at. And so obviously Spurrier knows he's full of shit and, you know, whatever. Everybody's cracking up. But, yeah, that was just, I mean, and it was in spring practice. That's probably why we never heard about it. And this is, you know, this is like 2007, 2008. This is before social media really hit. So just another tale in the legend of Garcia. So just another tale. Tale as old as time. Tale as old as time. Let's see. That full conversation, though, will drop next Wednesday, by the way, for those who are curious. And it was a great interview. Reid was cool. Also, I'll tell you this, very exciting news. On Friday afternoon, we will be having on the show former Gamecocks kicker and Super Bowl champion Ryan Succop. Going to be on the airwaves. Very much looking forward to that. Succop's a legend. Succop is an absolute legend and a very damn good kicker at that. So we got a lot of exciting things happening. A lot of exciting things. Baseball gets going tomorrow. So very, very pumped, man. Very pumped. A lot of stuff happening. Content bleeding out the eyeballs. Of course, in case you missed today, Shane Beamer hiring Freddie Kitchens on his staff as an analyst. Yeah, excited for that. I mean, it's not every day you get a former NFL coach. Not every day you get a former NFL coach to be on your staff. So crazy to think baseball's basically over, though. Last home game last night. Hate that Chico couldn't make it. I had 2 tickets, just went unused, my guy. Unused. Did you have to work or did you do something else? Just done. It's all good. I just wanted the tickets to be used, but whatever. We had a good time, man. It was beautiful weather. I was so happy I had a couple people go with me, though, because I was like, I would have hated sitting here by myself just watching this dog shit game. And I know you probably didn't watch, but Carolina's up 3-0. Go to the top of the 5th. We take out our starting pitcher. Charlotte puts up an 8 spot in the 5th inning. We lose the game 8-3. So just Carolina baseball in a nutshell for the year. Will Korb, what do you think about the Kitchens hire? Might be good for the pro style offense. I mean, I think anytime you can add an NFL guy to your staff, anytime you can add an NFL guy to your staff, it's a positive. I mean, for sure. It's most certainly a positive. I don't know a ton about Kitchens, to be totally honest with you. I mean, he coached at the Browns, right? I don't know a ton about him. He's going to be an analyst. How much do analysts really do? So I can't say that he's going to be a game changer for Carolina football. But again, you add an NFL guy, that type of experience. But then again, Satterfield's an NFL guy, and there aren't many folks that are big fans of his. So, we'll see what happens. But I like the addition. So, yeah, Freddie Kitchens adding to the team, if you will. Yeah, so let's see. But, yeah, all we got rocking right now is baseball. And that's something that most folks don't even really want to talk about because the record, Gamecocks after last night, 26-25 on the year. 26-25 on the year, which is pathetic. But here we are. So anyways, out here at Tin Roof, $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball as well. Great food. Great food. Really underrated food. DGD says thoughts on kitchens. I think it's a good pickup. I think it's a good addition. Again, I think that anytime you can add that NFL experience to your roster, to your staff, that's a plus. That's a plus. So, yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, again, I will tell you this. I don't get as worked up as many do about assistant coaches, especially analysts, DGD. Like, no offense. Like, I've never seen an analyst's name in the paper for losing or winning a game. So I'm not saying their roles aren't important, right? But let's not be over the top about his addition, right? I mean, it's how big of a deal is it really? I don't know. He will hopefully be another positive voice in there. Does it help in recruiting? Does it help Satterfield do anything? I don't know. I can't say for certain, and I don't think anybody really can. Again, the top thing is you add a guy with NFL ties, but outside of that, it's I'm just not someone that I was looking online. I think who was it? Football Scoop. I think they dropped how much running back coaches are getting paid, and I mean, honestly, I'm like, why would you want to be a head coach? South Carolina's running backs coach is making $350,000 a year, and there is no pressure as a running backs coach. No pressure. Like, none. Dude, sign me up to be a position coach any day of the week. Get this. The running backs coach at LSU is making more per year than Mark Kingston is as the head baseball coach. I mean, dude, being a position coach in college football is the way to go. If you can do it, honestly. Kurt Roper, who we all think is terrible, he's making $400,000 at NC State to coach running backs. Like, why wouldn't you? I'm about to quit doing this and be a running backs coach. All right. To coach running backs. Like, you know what the extent of coaching running backs is? Like putting cones down and just like, that's it. I mean, it's not, they're teaching technique. It's not like they're solving, I mean, the toughest part is recruiting. I mean, give them credit. They all recruit. But as a position coach, like, it's technique. That's all you do is coach technique. LSU's running backs coach is making $900,000 a year to coach a single position. And again, when a team loses a game, I could pull this entire bar and nobody knows who our running backs coach even is. Nobody's even know his name. It's Montario Hardesty, by the way. See, you didn't know that. Montario Hardesty played running back at Tennessee, played in the NFL for a bit, and then came back and is coaching. And I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He knew, well, I would say 90% wouldn't know. Then, majority wouldn't know. But I'm like, unless your position unit is just trash, like nobody's going to even know your name. So that's why, when Eric Kimry, I love Kimry. Kimry's the man. I've talked to Kimry since he left. Awesome dude. But I'm like, I don't think the program's crumbling because our tight ends coach left to take a head coaching job in high school. Like, I think we're fine. Yeah, DGD says if you can recruit, awesome. I think development's the key to maintaining job security. Well, I was asked about this yesterday, and the clips will probably drop, I don't know, probably tomorrow, about recruiting at Carolina and, what the ceiling is for Beamer and what you need to do. It is all about recruiting. I know, I hear you on the development side, and I think especially at South Carolina, you have to be able to develop. That's what Muschamp couldn't do. He couldn't take talent he got on campus and do anything with it. But you also still have to recruit good ball players. You know what I mean? You have to. You have to go get those guys. So the biggest thing at Carolina, though, is you've got to be able to take guys like Swearinger, Ingram, Shaw, Dylan Thompson, guys that were underrated, 3 stars, 2 stars, and get the most out of them and get them to an elite level. Eric Kimry himself told me the difference between an elite recruiter and an average recruiter is it's not if you can land a top 100 5-star guy. Those guys are no-brainers. Those guys are obvious. It's can you identify the difference between the 250th best player and the 600th best player? You know, because they're both 3 stars, but can you tell which guy fits your system, your scheme, your program, his upside? Can you tell the difference between the 250th best ranking-wise from the experts, 250th best, and the 600th best? That's what it comes down to when it comes to evaluation. But yeah, you look back at Muschamp and what they had then. I mean, God, look offensively. It's a shame. It's a shame how much Carolina struggled on the offensive side when they had the guys they did. You know, when they had the guys they did, the guys like Debo, Brian, Shai, Hayden, Rico. You know, it's just insane. It's tough. It's tough. So. Yes, Ritter, you did make history today, my friend. You did. You made history. Congratulations, calling in. You did make history. Let's see. Yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in, coming out. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Love and support, man. $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball as well. Make sure you tip your bartenders. They do a great job also. And it's always fun on Wednesdays here. Things always get crazy on a Wednesday. Let's go ahead, Phil. Let's go ahead and jump into a quick 5-minute break. More of your questions, comments, everything else. Again, let's have a hell of a night. And, yeah, go ahead and do the thing, Phil. Appreciate you. All right, Phil, we'll go ahead. All right, cool. We're back. Somebody tried to call in, actually, over the course of the break. If you want to try to call back in, I guess we can take a call. Why not? 843-790-3377. If you do want to call in, you're more than welcome to. Let's see. Yeah, if you want to call back in, like I said, you're more than welcome. Again, we're at Tin Roof, $3 drafts, $2 rump, $3 fireball. Having us a night. Be sure you tip your bartenders, take care of those guys. And we're preparing up for a big weekend. Gamecocks travel to Gainesville to take on the Florida Gators. I'm excited again to be back here. It's crazy, man. Like I said, we're about 2 months out from hitting a year at Tin Roof, and it's been a blessing, man. Truly, it's been a blessing coming out here each and every single Wednesday. And it's become such a huge part of my weekly routine and something I look forward to each and every single week. And I just appreciate Corey and all those guys to give me the opportunity, man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for sure. So, again, 843-790-3377. If you do want to call in, you are more than welcome to do so. DGD says, what are your thoughts on the division requirements or conference championships being lifted? Yeah. So, in case you missed it, divisions are about to be a thing of the past in college football. Pac-12 actually announcing today that the 2 teams with the highest winning percentage in conference will play for the title. So, there is no more an East and a West. There is no more North and a South, Atlantic and Coastal. There is no more any of that. So it sounds like – I don't think the SEC will make the move for this season. I think they'll wait until Texas and Oklahoma join the conference. But pods are going to happen. I think pods are definitely going to happen. You're going to have 4 pods of 4 teams. And I talked about that yesterday with my buddy Mark Rogers. The clip will drop at some point. But I think it's a really, really – I'll tell you this. I think it's a good idea from the entertainment value side and the business side. The entertainment value side – and the business side. I do. I think that because your number one job is to keep fan bases invested longer. I talked about this a couple of days ago, actually. You want to keep fan bases invested longer. And we for some reason, we have reached a point where it is so national title or bust, championship or bust. You know, every sport, you're measuring on how many rings you have, right? It's all about rings. Your level of greatness is measured on rings. And so it's this championship or bust mentality. Well, that's all fine and dandy, right? And ESPN has branded the playoff. Who's in? They make it all about the playoff, right? Who's in? Who's in the playoff, right? That's cool. When you do that, though, if that's all that matters, you get to the halfway point of the season and your team's out of the playoff hunt, and guess what happens? Fans check out. They're done. They're done. They don't go to games. They don't stay invested. I'm not saying this in the sense of a participation trophy type of energy, but if you're looking at entertainment value and keeping your audience invested and engaged longer, pods will do that to give teams something else to play for. You know what else would do that? An expanded playoff would give teams something else to play for. I don't buy the narrative that it would destroy the regular season. I don't buy that. I don't buy that narrative. I don't buy that narrative. I understand the thought process that, the regular season's its own playoff. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but again, 4 teams make it to the title game. And we have reached a very dangerous spot in college football where if you don't win the national title, if you go 8-4, you suck, quote unquote. And that's just a stupid mentality. That's not true. 8-4, you're a good team. You're very good, right? Only a few teams go undefeated. Only a few teams lose a single game, right? But we have reached that level. It's like, oh, you're either elite or you suck, and there's no in between. There's no in between. So from the business side, I think pods makes a lot of sense. I think pods keeps people invested longer. I think business-wise, it's a no-brainer move. Now, because I think that's what you have to weigh, pods versus not, just having just divisions, whatever, what's better. I'm not saying you're going to get two different teams. I'm not even saying that. I don't think that's, I don't know that expanding the playoff is a solution to get different champions, right? That's what happens. You get Bama fatigue. We get Clemson fatigue. We get Oklahoma fatigue. And people say, oh, we got to expand the playoff. We got to get more teams. We're probably still going to end up with the same amount or same teams. We're going to end up with the same teams. And I'll die on this hill. The group of five needs its own playoff. They need their own playoff. I'm sorry, but Appalachian State is not playing with the same trophy as Alabama. That don't make any sense. Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall, I think he's a great quarterback. Cool. Bama would beat Coastal by 40 if they played today. It's not even a question. It's just a different level of football. Georgia would curb stomp Coastal Carolina. Like, it's not even remotely close. And that's okay, but that is the reality. Anyways, I don't think Group of Five will do that because they want the money. They like the money, whatever. Let's see. Jeff Churchich, Gamecock baseball alumni, is over the top disgusted with how we can't win 30 when 40 plus is the norm. Look at this as a new opportunity. Time for Link Jarrett hire. Wins with low talent, bad weather, no facilities. Let's go get this guy. Yeah, so I'm thinking the Friday podcast is actually going to be my top 5 candidates for the head coaching job at South Carolina. That's what I'm leaning to, at least. That's what I'm leaning to. So, and my top 5 at the top of my head, I do think Link Jarrett should be up there. I think Scott Jackson from Liberty. I think Cliff Godwin from East Carolina. I think Mark Calvey from South Alabama. If you want to throw Landon Powell in there, I don't think Powell's a guy that would be – I mean, listen, I know we're all in love with the Beamer storyline and getting Shane Beamer, and he's a Carolina guy and alum, getting our own blood in here, but I need a guy that has a track record. This is not football. This is not basketball where we've never won and we need to roll the dice and think outside the box. No, we just need to get a guy that knows what the hell he's doing when it comes to coaching a baseball team. That's it. That's it. A guy that's offensive-minded, but a guy that has a track record, knows how to win and win big. That's it. Carolina baseball should be viewed as an elite job. An elite job. That's how it should be viewed. It is an elite job in my mind. It still is elite. So that's how it should be viewed, in my opinion. That's how it should be viewed. I think viewing it not that way is a mistake. I really do. I think viewing it not that way is a mistake. Yeah, so we'll see. I think the biggest question will be, can USC remove their pride and do what's necessary and make a really tough decision? All right, let's jump to the phone lines here. We do have a call. I was waiting on this guy's call. What's up, man? Fire away with your question, and we'll take it off the air.
All right. What were we talking about?
Dude, whatever you want to discuss, my man.
They have to do better this year. I know we got all the same guys coming back, but it still ain't what it was. We got a couple freshmen coming in too. They're young and they're big too, but it looks like they might be able to play ball.
Right.
Down to baseball. Mark Kingston's got to go.
Fair enough.
You agree?
I've been fire Mark Kingston for weeks. Yeah, trust me. I agree. I published Fire Mark Kingston merchandise on my story. I agree. I agree.
We've been losing these small schools midweek, and it's just unacceptable. It's crazy how you win the big game, but then you lose these games midweek, and that's what's actually going to cost us here in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Basketball, I think Lamont Paris has done a good job. We got the guy from, he's not pulled any like star players from the transfer portal or anything, but it seems like he's trying to put pieces together to make a team, and that's what it is in basketball. It's a team sport like any other one. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So.
I appreciate it, my man. Yeah, I appreciate the questions. Like I said, we'll answer these off the air. Football. Sorry about that, Phil. That's why I tell people, like, let's save the calls for the Daily Crow, because it's just too much of a mess to try to do the calls at Tin Roof. Either way, though, the offensive line, what we talk with football, yeah, it's and that's going to be your number one question. Like, I think people are going to be exhausted with the amount that I talk about the offensive line. People are going to be exhausted with that, truly, but it's just the truth, man. We can talk Rattler, we can talk Wells, we can talk the running back, Stogner, Bell. We can talk defense, but if we're not where we need to be at the line of scrimmage, if we're not where we need to be up front offensively on the offensive line, none of it really is going to matter. And we'll still, here's the thing. We'll still get to a bowl game, I think. I think we'll probably still we made a bowl game with that group last year, but we're not going to reach nearly the potential that many folks want us to. We're not going to reach that potential if we don't improve on the offensive line. But bottom line, you can forget going 8-4 if you don't have an offensive line worth a damn. I can tell you that. On the baseball side, yeah, my guy, fire Mark Kingston. It's inexcusable. I mean, you went 7-5 in midweek games this year. You went 2-6 against the state of South Carolina. You lost to PC, the Citadel, and USC Upstate in the same season. Enough said. A change is needed. And then basketball with Lamont Paris. With Lamont, I don't have any crazy expectations for Lamont year one. I talked about it yesterday. I think the basketball job is literally the toughest job at the University of South Carolina. I think when you look at, no, there aren't crazy expectations, but when you look at the resources, the challenges in recruiting, you could argue the support isn't where it needs to be in a lot of areas. It's a tough job because I think basketball is literally viewed as, we had my buddy Tucker in here back in sometime right before baseball season, and he literally said it aloud. Basketball just looked at that bridge in January and early February to get us from football to baseball. That's how it's viewed. Unfortunately, that's how it's viewed by a lot of people. So, let's see. DGD said, my biggest concern with removing division requirements in SEC is the fact most of the season will be a waste for over half the teams. So DGD, again, you're saying you remove the divisions, the season would be a waste. So are you saying if we had no pods, right? You're saying that if we had no pods and we just went 16 teams, you're saying that the season would be a waste. I think that's what you're saying. Because if you say that, then I see what you're talking about. That's where, again, that's where I think pods will help that. Travis says the pod thing, this will be the beginning of the Power 5 transition from the current FBS. Yeah, I think at some point Power 5 is going to just break off and do their own thing. They're not going to not going to be along with the NCAA for long. So. Robbie Davis. What's up, Robbie? Appreciate you tuning in, my guy. Wish you could have been here tonight. I know you guys are probably busy. Uncle Boudreaux probably still on the farm right now. But, no, I appreciate you tuning in, my man. Like I said, Gamecocks get going tomorrow night. Gamecocks get going tomorrow night in Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Florida. South Carolina and the Gators get it going. So, should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. Let's see. Breaking, what's going on, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Robbie said he was going to come, but gas prices are way too high. I hear it's like an hour drive for y'all. I get it. Trust me, dude. Hey, I get it. They are. Them gas prices, they through the roof. They through the roof. We can all agree on that. We can all agree on that for sure. John Kruger says lose 2 of 3. Yeah, I mean, I already dropped my predictions. I've got the Gators taking 2 of 3. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take at all. Florida has won 3 straight SEC series. Florida has won 3 straight SEC series. I mean, you're on the road. You've been terrible on the road. I don't know what really else there is to say. You know what I mean? I don't know what else there really is to say. Yeah, so I don't think it's a bold, hot pick at all. I don't think it's a hot take. I don't think it's a hot pick at all. I think that, yeah. There he is. Look at Talon rolling. It looked like he's fresh out the gym. Just got a jail lift in, he looks like. Out at the jail yard getting a lift in. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I've got the Gators taking 2 of 3. I think that, I think it'll come down to the wire. I think, South Carolina and Florida, when they play, it just seems like for whatever reason those series are really, really close. Of course, South Carolina sweeping the Gators last year. But you know what's crazy, man? Like, even if you sweep, sure, it'll help you in the SEC tournament seedings. But, man, even if you sweep, it's just your resume is so bad in the midweek, your resume is so bad against lesser competition, I don't think it's even going to matter. That's the shame in it. That's the tough part. It's not even going to matter. Unless you go win the SEC tournament in Hoover, which you've never had success there outside of like 2004. I mean, it's been well over a decade since you did anything there. Yeah, I don't see it. What's up, Talon? What's going on, babe? What's going on, buddy? Apparently there's a tin roof in Charleston. Is that right? Oh. Somebody commented, like, we got a tin roof in Charleston. I was like, really? A bar called Tin – is that legal? But really? That's very interesting. Oh. Huh. The more you know. The more you know. That's very interesting. Yeah, Colton Cornell, Gamecocks losing on Robbie Davis's birthday. I'll tell you, we had a fun time, by the way, for those that missed it, on the Daily Crow, giving relationship advice to Rebecca. We're hashtag Team Rebecca. If you did not know, we are hashtag Team Rebecca. We most certainly are. We are hashtag Team Rebecca. So we stand with Rebecca. The TDC community is a really, really cool one, really, really tight-knit one. Really dope. So, no, Dusty Rhodes, we have confirmed it is not part of the Tin Roof chain. It is a bar called Tin Roof that is not part of the Tin Roof chain. No. You know what I'm surprised they don't have in here? I've been to Tin Roofs before where they had like the map that showed you all of them. Surprised they don't have that in here. There's like, you ever seen that at a tin roof? You ever seen that? They got like the map, and they got like all the points on it where the tin roofs are. They had that in Charlotte when they had that up there. I don't know. I don't think they got it here. I don't know. Either way, Cody Gaskins, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. A lot of playoff high school baseball going on right now. Love to see that. Love to see that. Again, in case you missed it, like I mentioned, man, we are expanding the business. And I, for one, I'm going to be working on that all night tonight, getting that ready for tomorrow. I think we're going to start pushing content tomorrow. Really excited for it. I mean, really all I was waiting on was getting the branding side of things nailed down. And I know how to make content, obviously. So we'll start doing it. We'll start making content, I think, tomorrow. You know, not full-fledged, full-scale quite yet, but we're going to start tomorrow because I'm somebody, again, I preach all this just start, you know, get it go. Well, I'm not going to be a hypocrite in that regard and not just start. So we're going to start pushing out content. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how it evolves. But it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, man. DGD, I know you'll be locked in, my guy. It's at SEC Unfiltered if you want to go ahead and shoot it a follow. At SEC Unfiltered. I think DGD, you know, tomorrow is the 100 days to kick off the start of the countdown. I think you, sir, will like the first countdown video. I'll leave it at that. I think Dusty Rose, it's SEC Unfiltered. That is the name. DGD, you're going to like the first video, my guy. You're going to like the first video. It includes a highlight I think you will be very fond of. I'll just leave it at that. So excited, man. 100 days till SEC football is tomorrow. 100 days till SEC football. Really, really cool stuff. Really awesome stuff. So, yeah, John Edward Kruger just followed us. Appreciate you, John. Yep, you can find it at SEC Unfiltered on social media. Again, it's going to look very blank and boring right now, but we will be putting everything together tonight, really. Let's see, DGD, Shane. Oh, sorry. Luke RJ says, Luke RJ loves asking me these personal questions. How many times do you change clothes a day? That's what he asked me. I like to keep it fresh, my man. But we go to the gym midday, so you got to put on a fit for the tin roof. I mean, Luke RJ, you always are coming in with these really weird personal questions, which I appreciate. I appreciate that, Luke. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll normally rock a daily crow fit. Then we'll rock a gym fit. Then we'll rock a whatever that night is. If there's something going on, we'll rock that fit as well. So you got to keep it fresh, my man. You got to keep it fresh. You know, got to keep people on their toes. That's what I'm out here to do. We got to keep people on their toes. So I'm just trying to keep you guessing, Luke RJ. Just trying to keep you guessing. Travis, what's going on? Travis Allen, what's up, man? Appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in. Again, the starting rotations have been dropped for Gamecocks baseball, believe it or not. Starting rotations have been dropped. Gamecocks going per normal. Gamecocks going with their normal rotation. Thomas on Thursday, Noah Hall Friday, Big Willie on Saturday. And I just wonder how that's going to play into – I'm shocked they're not going Hall, I think, in tomorrow's game. Just because, I mean, again, I would assume you want to go Hall game one of the SEC tournament. And so, I mean, do they limit how much he throws? Do they limit how much Will throws? How do they manage that? So, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, Luke RJ. We got to keep the fits fresh, my guy. I appreciate your questions, my guy. Hey, we got to keep the fits fresh. Got to keep them fresh, Luke. Again, I just want to keep you guessing, my dude. Just want to keep you guessing. Again, shag lessons tonight, by the way, 8:30, right? Still doing that. Shag lessons at 8:30. So be sure to come out for that. I'm sure Tin Roof's got some big stuff happening over the weekend. My buddies are actually performing here Saturday. So that'll be cool to come out. I think it's MK and the guys or whatever the name is. But they're performing Saturday. We'll be out here. I'm going to slide through and support those guys. And, yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. So, all right, we have hit 7 o'clock as we enter our second hour. We'll take another 5-minute break, Phil. We'll take 5 here. But, again, we've hit 7, $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball. It's a good crowd out at Tin Roof. Looks like it's shaping to be a good night, so y'all come on out and enjoy joining the festivities. Like I said, we'll be back in 5. Phil, go ahead and send us off. All righty. Appreciate you, Phil. You're the man. If I get Apple Music, can you give me your playlist? Shrugs his shoulders. He knows how gold that playlist is. He's like, I'll give you the playlist for the right price. Yeah, just let me see the playlist and just make it on Spotify. 2 screenshots is what I need. No, I need like a video. I need a screen record. 1 screen record swipe. How many songs are on that playlist? It's got to be a number. Is there 1,000? Wow. 10,000. That many? Okay. But somewhere between 1 and 10,000. Yeah. But 1,000's a ton. No, I don't either. It's like slow it down and like, go through. My 2022 playlist is at like 50 songs. So, I mean, I'm way behind. I like add them as I go throughout the year. Anyways, yeah, we have reached the second hour. We'll probably go to about 7:45 and we'll clear it off, let the guys get ready for the shag night, 1-2 step, rock step. We all, it's like, ingrained in there at this point. But, yeah, so going to have a great night. Hopefully a busy night for our folks behind the bar. Hopefully a very busy night for them. But either way, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming out through all our drafts, through our rumple, through all our fireball as well. Great food, great people, great times, man. It's always a good time out here at Tin Roof for sure. I feel like Tin Roof has really become the top spot in the city. I don't know if anybody saw this. This was an article yesterday. They are turning the old Parrot Heads into a bookstore and cafe. I mean, RIP in peace, 5 Points. I mean, really, truly, they are turning it into a bookstore. So, next thing you know, Poho is going to turn into like I don't know what they could turn that into. But RIP 5 Points for sure. It's unfortunate. It's a shame. Let's see. Again, John Edward Kruger, appreciate you. I did see you followed on Twitter, my guy. Thank you so much for that. Really, really good stuff. Luke RJ says, have you talked about the whole plans for SECU? I haven't, Luke. That's something I was probably going to wait until we actually dropped everything. But I can tell you this. It's going to be, in a lot of ways, similar to the way that I create content for TSUS, but just for the entire SEC. I mean, there's going to be podcasts. There's going to be video. There's going to be maybe at some point there's going to be an SEC-wide live show, kind of like the Daily Crow is. So, I'm just adding to my plate. But I think it's something that'll be really good. I mean, like I told you guys, I took that trip to Knoxville and really felt the love from those Tennessee guys and what we do with the content and how awesome they thought it was. And it just felt like a no-brainer, man. At minimum, on the merch side. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity to create merch and sell merch at scale on a much, much bigger scale. I mean, we felt the love and support from Gamecock fans, but you feel like, if it'll work for one school, why can't it work for 14? You know what I mean? So if you're trying to make waves in sports media and in this industry and what I do, growing outside of one school and one fan base is sort of the way to go. So there will be challenges that come along the way, but you know what? Hey, we'll see where the journey takes us, and the beauty is that we have the ability to evolve and change our mind and make adjustments along the way. I've made content before where I had all these plans and I started making the content. I got 3 days in and hated it. So that could happen. I'm not saying that couldn't happen, but I think this is something that I think will be really, really good. I think it's something that has an opportunity to grow very, very quickly, very rapidly, very quickly. Again, there'll be a little bit more of a higher level overview where, we're not going to dive into like key matchups and key players and keys to the game and all that stuff so in depth because, again, there's 14 teams, right? It'll be a much more casual convo, 30,000-foot view, kind of just shooting the shit, talking whatever, which, again, I think opens up the door to a lot more creative freedom, where it's just like, because I'm not a fan of like Florida. I'm not a fan of Georgia. I can just kind of call things even more bluntly, even more transparently and just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Just have a lot of fun with it. So, like, I'm excited to talk SEC baseball, the SEC baseball tournament, like Tony Vitello. I think Tony Vitello is a guy that you hate him if he's on the other side. You love him if he's on your side. You do. Now, does he every now and then make a complete ass of himself? I definitely think so. I think he goes over the top sometimes, but that's a dude, man, you love to play for. And Tennessee baseball right now, I mean, you look at the SEC standings, which will pull these up, but Tennessee is, I mean, they've already clinched the SEC East, obviously. They are 46-7 on the season. Tennessee has lost 7 baseball games this year. They just know how good they are, man. That's it. That cockiness, that arrogance. I mean, when you're 46-7, you can say and do whatever you want. Truly. Now, will they carry it over into the postseason? Will they carry it over? You know, we've seen a lot. Hey, I thought Arkansas last year was the no-brainer. I thought they were, you know what, with Kevin Kopps in the back end, they were on a roll, and they lose to NC State in the Supers. I mean, it's not a guarantee. I think that's heck, we've seen it with South Carolina back in 2000, maybe it was 2000, where the Gamecocks won like 50 games and hosted Louisiana Lafayette. Lost to them. Didn't make it out of, I think, a regional or a super or whatever. So it can happen. That's the scary thing. I think it can happen. Did Tennessee peak too early? But, I mean, they're good, man. They're filthy. They're filthy. They got a coach that – which is crazy, and I think that's what really irks Gamecock fans too, is Mark Kingston was hired at the same time Tony Vitello was, and you look at the trajectory of the two programs, and it's just, you know, it's just night and day. It's just night and day. You can't even, you know, remotely argue it. But they got it rolling, man. It's wild to see what Vitello – and it's wild, like, I went to their ballpark. It's a shithole. Like, their ballpark is a shithole. Lindsey Nelson sucks. But he's been able to get good players there, top players. I mean, really, he has. So you got to tip your cap to the guy, man. It's, you know, you got to tip your cap, no doubt. So, I don't know. He's been able to do it, but I'm excited to talk SEC baseball. Yeah, DGD, talking football will be super, super easy. I mean, that's really easy. Colton Cornell says you have a dog watching. We actually had a Texas fan call in today. That was really interesting. I had a Texas fan call in. A woman, a female Texas fan, which was crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, really, really good stuff. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like I said, it'll be a new challenge, and I stay so busy as is. I'm almost a little bit nervous how busy I will be. But the beautiful thing is, and I kind of planned this out for a reason, we're coming up on the month of June where things will really slow down for me on the Gamecock side. But I think that'll give us an opportunity to do this SEC thing and really, really, you know, give a full court press and get a full-on push, and we'll see how much we can grow in some short time, because I think it's possible. I think we'll be able to grow rapidly. I really do. I'm excited to try to get people SEC guests on, not just Carolina, but SEC as a whole. I think that will be super cool. And Colton Carnell says, speaking of the dog, not going to lie, hearing DGD's perspective on the daily is refreshing. Yeah, it is. It is. See, I think that's kind of where I'm wired differently too than some people. Like, I'll give you this example. People think I'm crazy for this. Last year, after Beamer got hired, everybody thought it was a great hire, right? I mean, it was the same thing over and over, and that's great. I'm glad everybody loved Beamer, and I love Beamer too. I loved the hire too. But I wanted someone to come on the show. I want somebody to come on the show that doesn't think it was a good hire. Just because I want to hear the opposing perspective. Because I think it's interesting. You know, I think it's interesting to hear both sides. So most Gamecock fans would not want to hear that. But, like, I want to hear the other side. Like, don't just tell me what I want to hear, you know? I don't just want to. The beauty is in the banter. The beauty's in the arguing. So, and I never did find that person, and maybe for good reason. You know, I think we're all very happy with Shane Beamer. Actually, I saw Emily Beamer last night at the baseball game, our first lady, the queen herself. Love to see that. Luke RJ says, congrats on the name and the handle. Sounds pretty good what you want to do. What do you think of the name? When did you think of the name and lock it up on socials? This was about, you know what's crazy? I thought of the name because I was I was racking around some stuff in my head, and that actually wasn't the first name I came up with. I forget. I could probably go back. I don't know. What was the I forget what there was another name I thought of. There was another name I thought of, and it's slipping my mind. Oh, it was like Unique Fraternity or something. Unique Fraternity, right? Because I had heard Steven Garcia say that about quarterbacks at Carolina, and I don't know. It just came to my mind. But I was like, that doesn't really, and I don't want the abbreviation, God forbid, to be UF. I was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. The name actually came to me a few days later. This was a couple of weeks ago, I believe, something like that, where I was walking around my neighborhood, just a walk, getting outside in nature, and it just popped in my head. Just popped in my head. So, yeah, just kind of came to be. And then I looked on social media, Luke RJ, because I was like, this is so simple to the point, but it kind of works. And looked on social media, and sure enough, somehow, SEC Unfiltered was wide open on social media. So, I talked to a buddy of mine. He said, Chris, when it's something as simple as that, maybe it's meant to be. Maybe it's meant to be. And I just thought, you know what? You're right. Let's see. Yeah, DGD, you always keep me laughing, DG. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you sincerely. Yeah, having that different perspective, man. That's what it's all about. Having a different perspective. Having a different perspective. So. Again, Gamecocks get going tomorrow night in Gainesville. By the way, we're starting to turn our attention and make plans for the fall. Because even with this SEC entity launching, Gamecocks football season is still very much at the forefront for me. I live in Columbia. I will be moving, by the way. Those that don't know, August 1st. I think I'll be staying around Cola, but I don't know where I'm going. You trying to do it? You trying to run it? the entire house is just the compound, the studio. Just a big old studio office thing. Well, anyways, my landlord is going from $700 a month to $1,300 a month. So yeah. Somebody new bought the place, and yeah. So, but yeah, we are looking ahead to tailgate spots for the fall. And I tell you, man, Seawells was such a good time last year. I'm thinking about, why don't we run it back? So I think Sewell's going to be the move. I really do. We had such a good time. I love the fact that Sewell's, they don't have a stupid rule like 5 hours. 5 hours before kickoff. We just get out there whenever. So kick off at 7. We can get out there at 11 a.m. Doesn't matter. So. Anyways, guys, $3 drafts. $3 rumple, $3 fireball as well. Great food, great people, great times. We're having a good night here. Wednesday night at Tin Roof. We should find a house. Why not? That could be fun. What's up, man? How you been? I'm doing well, man. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. I like that Tampa Bay Rays hoodie, man. I like that. A little baseball. You a baseball guy? Yeah. I love baseball too. Yeah. I love baseball too, man. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, the weekend, Carolina. Unfortunately, we're also looking towards the end because it's just been such a tough year. It's been such a tough year for the Yardcocks, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead, Phil. Let's jump into another 5-minute break. Yeah, we'll take 5 here. Again, $3 drafts, $3 rumple, $3 fireball. Make sure you tip your bartenders for having us a good night. Also, stick around for Shag Night. So, and Sound Guy Phil's playlist. We're going to get that out of him at some point. All right. All right, Phil, let's rock for about 15 more minutes or so, 20 more minutes or so. We'll keep it going. DGD. Have a day, Mike. Have a day. Yeah, indeed. Have a day. Have a day. Appreciate y'all coming out, man. This is awesome. Like I said, it's crazy how many of these we've done, how many live shows out at 10. Like I said, about 2 months from today, it'll be about a year, which is just, again, wild to think. And yeah, so Brendan, my guy, Brendan, what's going on, man? What's going on, Brendan? Appreciate you. Brendan, you didn't miss anything crazy, I don't think. I don't think you missed anything crazy. So, yeah, you're good, Brendan. You're good. Nothing too well. Hashtag Team Rebecca, Brendan. Hashtag Team Rebecca. We're all on Rebecca's side. We're all on Rebecca's side. We're all in Rebecca's corner. Yeah, what do we got? Last 20 minutes or so. Any questions, comments, everything else? So, thoughts on hiring Freddie Kitchens? I mean, I think it's good to bring NFL experience to the staff. I do. I think anytime, former NFL head coach, bringing that experience is really good. I think that's really good for sure. And, yeah, so I'm not going to say he's going to be some insane game changer for Carolina, but, I think it's a positive. I do think it's a positive addition, Brendan. Connor McCormish, next baseball coach. Friday's show, I will drop my top 5. I'll drop a top 5 list of coaches I'd like to see. But I'd probably go Scott Jackson, Cliff Godwin, Link Jarrett, Landon Powell, Mark Calvey. Again, I will have a full breakdown on the Friday show. A full breakdown of the Friday show. So. So, yeah, we'll have a full breakdown of those 5 guys mentioned. There might be more, too. Does Carolina try to throw the money at somebody else? But here's the real question. Are they willing to pay the $1.3 million buyout or whatever the buyout is? A little bit over $1 million. Are they willing to pay it? That's what it comes down to. Yeah, if Kingston gets let go, are they willing to pay it? That's what it all comes down to. That's what it all comes down to. So. Rebecca, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you've had a great day. Again, $3 drafts, $3 Rumple, $3 Fireball out here. We're having a good time. Yeah, really good stuff. Again, Gamecocks baseball gets going tomorrow night. A pretty calm night in the city. Like I said, I think things will start to slow down a little bit, especially on the South Carolina side. Connor, the biggest thing, though, you said they paid it with Frank, so I'm hoping they will. But, I think the biggest problem there, it's just this baseball, and this might sound like a crazy question, but does baseball move the needle enough? Does baseball move the needle enough to, call for a change? Will USC put their pride aside and understand that a change is needed, and this baseball program needs to be salvaged before it gets too out of control? And so will they do that? Will they do that? Will they do that? So, and it's also kind of an embarrassing look when you think about it. Carolina, within a less than 2 year span, has fired their head football coach and their head men's basketball coach. Now you're about to possibly fire your baseball coach as well. So your top 3 sports You fired the head coach in less than a 2-year span. It's not a good look. It's not a great look. Outside of Dawn, you've got no stability whatsoever. So is USC willing to, or will it be the excuse train for Kingston, which I wouldn't be shocked. Injuries, which feels so eerily similar to the end of the Muschamp era. So, I just, again, I go back to this. You can think I'm just full of it and don't know what I'm talking about, but I can tell you what, I've had people reach out to me that do know what the hell they're talking about, guys that played at Carolina, that have rings, that that played for him. They know what they're talking about. It'd be one thing if all I had to go off of was stats and record and all that, but when you got the greatest players in school history and baseball people, they don't like the guy, that's almost even worse. That's almost worse than statistics, really. And I got no doubt if he came back next year, we're going to be better on the bump. Jack Mahoney will get healthy. Jackson Phipps will get healthy. Guys will come back. We'll get freshmen in that are really good players. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt. I just don't think we'll ever swing it well enough. I don't think we'll ever swing it well enough to have success. I don't think we'll ever swing it well enough to have success. So I just, again, you factor that in. You factor the record in. I mean, I just think if you don't fire Kingston, you're a bit of a hypocrite. So. Luke RJ says, according to Dalton, we have millions of dollars in the SEC money just everywhere, so money shouldn't be an issue. Look, according to Dalton, we have millions of dollars in the SEC money just everywhere. Money shouldn't be an issue. There's others, too, that have said that. I forget who it was. I forget who it was that said that, but yeah, they believe. Oh, it was Jake Crane. No, Jake Crane, my buddy Jake, that said that we have the money to go compete with the Alabamas, the Georgias. I mean, I feel like we do. I feel like it should be there. I feel like the money should be there. I don't know. I mean, you see us down at the bottom of the spending and recruiting, and that bothers people. That really, really bothers people. So Luke says, do you believe that? We couldn't pay the buyout if we wanted to, and it would be a problem. I mean, we've paid buyouts. We're paying Muschamp. I think if it's something serious enough, we will pay. We will do it. You know what I mean? I think we can put the money together. We can most certainly put the money together. So we will find a way. Let's see. York County welcome home event. Shane Beamer said he signed a prayer candle with his face on it. So in the SEC, yep, it just means more for sure. It just means more. So. Let's see. A swimming coach is new. I did see Tony Annan at the game of the night. So I did see Tony Annan at the game. He's doing a good job with soccer. So I think he'll do a really, really good job. So for those that care about men's soccer, I do think he'll do a good job. But yeah, I think it's like 1.2. So. Yes, Beamer ball indeed, my friend. Beamer ball to the moon. Proud owner of the trademark of Beamer ball sitting right here. So, USC's more than welcome to use it if they want to hit me up. Cut me some of Shane Beamer's 2.4 milli gets per year. So, the first thing USC would need to do, give me a suite at every venue on like that we play games in. Then we got to get Fink fired. No, I'm kidding. I love Fink. Love him. Yeah, that's a funny story. I don't know if it was Fink that controlled this. I actually requested to have Tony Annan, the head soccer coach, on the show. And he said he'd love to do it. Gave me his number. We texted. He ran it by USC. Request got denied for him to come on. So that's how USC feels about TSUS. Connor, Luke RJ, the SECU profile pictures aren't even up yet. Yeah, Luke RJ, I know. It because it hasn't launched, Luke RJ. I told you that. I know they're not up yet. We just got the logo in today, my guy. We just got it in today. People impatient. SEC football fans and bad doctors, they have one thing in common. They have no patience. That is a great dad joke for you. Connor McCormish, softball. Yeah, softball has really fallen. Softball has really, really fallen. And it's all good, though. I'm glad people are excited. They're asking. They want to know what's going on, when the entity will drop, all that good stuff. I'm like I said, I'm going to work on that tonight. We're going to eat some grub here, head to the house, get the work done, get after it. And I'm thinking tomorrow, man. But like I said, it's not going to be something that's going to be rushed. It's going to be a journey. It's not like a one-night thing. So – Yeah. So, anyways, that new entity, look for that. Again, $3 drafts at Rumpel. Come on out to Tin Roof. Really good time here. We're out here every single Wednesday, 6 to 8. We're rocking and rolling. Of course, they have Shag Night on Wednesdays as well. And there's always something going on at Tin Roof, man. It's always a really good time. Yeah, appreciate those coming out in person. Appreciate those tuning in digitally. Like I said, we got a lot of things rocking on our end. Content bleeding out the eyeballs. We're running it back probably as Seawells this fall. Yeah, so really good stuff. Really good stuff. Yeah. So, anyways, we will be back out here next Wednesday. Baseball gets going tomorrow night. Yeah, Luke RJ, we're all good, my guy. You know I like to mess with you, Luke RJ, every single day. I know you're on the Daily Crow, DMing me on social media. I like to screw with you, so it's always fun. Again, y'all come on out tonight. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Let them get set up for Shag Night and all that. But yeah, again, always appreciate you guys. It's always a pleasure. And always look forward to this, man, each and every single Wednesday. I always look forward to this each and every single Wednesday. And yeah, so it's always a good time. Anyways, y'all stay tuned with the pod. We got big stuff. Listen today if you hadn't, that conversation with Sean Elliott, one for the ages. Really appreciate him taking the time to do so. And like I said, tune in the Daily Crow each and every single day, Monday through Friday, noon to 2. We do this very similarly, taking your questions, comments, calls, all that good stuff. Till then, hey, appreciate it. Sound guy Phil, send us off. Let's have a Wednesday night.